So, what I want to talk about today is one of the crucial elements that has been so important to me building and sustaining this seven-figure business as a woman who really honors my freedom, honors my calendar, honors my space in my calendar, and that is planning. Planning is the highest form of self-care. It is not something that is a to-do or a have to do. It shouldn't be something that's left to the last minute. For me, planning has saved my business. It has been the thing that has allowed me to take multiple vacations per year. It's the thing that has allowed me to take really good care of myself when I needed to take time off, to go through multiple surgeries that I've gone through in the last 10 years, and to have the space to be able to do all of that while sustaining my income. So if you're new to me, I am a business coach. I help women entrepreneurs double their incomes within 12 to 18 months without going broke in the process and while honoring their sanity and their lifestyles. And my specific group of people that I work with are coaches, consultants, healers, health experts, business service providers, and any other small client-based businesses. I really help people, my women entrepreneurs, be able to get more clients, create more space in their calendars, and develop and build their bank account so that they can make and save the money that they want to make so that they can build the lifestyle that they are interested in living. In this video, I am talking about how I created a seven-figure online business and have sustained this business at seven figures since 2013. That has been, at the time of recording of this, over 10 years. And it has been a business that has provided me an immense amount of freedom in my world. I can live where I want to work. I can work with whom I want to work. I do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. And freedom is my highest value. Now, my guess is that if you're watching this video, freedom is your highest value too, or one of your highest values. And this is going to be part one of a series of videos where I'm showing you how I built my seven-figure business and how I sustained it, especially as a woman who has health issues. I'm introverted. I'm highly sensitive. I'm empathic. And so there's a lot of things about the way I work and who I am that might have led to me hiding, playing small, not getting to where I am. But I managed to work with and through all of those concerns and have built this beautiful business that I'm incredibly proud of. And I want to talk about some really planning specifics so that you can see into the backstage into my business and how I do my regular planning. So we're going to start with daily planning because fundamentally, I think the number one practice for so many entrepreneurs has to be getting what you say you're going to get done, when you say you're going to get it done, how you say you're going to get it done on a daily basis. And I think that's where we find the most amount of frustration is that we end our days not doing the things that we wanted to do, how we wanted to do them, when we wanted to do them. So the first thing I will say is that the way I keep my to-do list, because people ask me this all the time, is I keep a massive to-do list in Evernote. So Evernote is an electronic notebook system. If you have a Microsoft platform, you could use OneNote. It's free. What I love about Evernote is that it also syncs on all your devices. You can use it on your computer. You can use it on your iPad. You can use it on your phone. And so what I do in Evernote is I have a notebook that is a to-do list notebook. And then in the notebook, there's a note. And what I do is I have a note for every month. So I don't do my massive to-do list by the week or even by the day, because the way my brain works is that I'm always thinking of to-dos, both personal and business to-dos. So I just need a place to get them out of my head and onto paper. And so you could totally use a paper notebook for this if you wanted to. I use electronic simply so that I don't have to recreate it, rewrite it. Also, I travel a lot, so it can always go with me. So I have to-do. So at the time that I'm filming this, it's April. So I have a to-do list for April 2024. And it literally is categorized by business and personal. Now, I also put notes there. So it's not necessarily a clean note, like I'm writing down somebody's phone number, or I'm, need a quick place to write a note because I'm watching a video or whatnot. It'll go on that note too. And so I have a whole section at the bottom for random things. And that's just a great way to keep myself organized so that I don't have to worry about Post-it notes everywhere, notebooks everywhere. I also use Evernote as a system to keep myself organized. I'm going to share with you my Evernote. So this is what my to-do list looks like. So this was for March, right? So you can see there's lots of stuff on here. It goes all the way down. It's not super organized, and that's okay. But then what you're going to see also is you're going to see here different notebooks that I have. Let's see, I have a notebook for every program I've ever done. I've got a notebook on dogs, so I can take notes on dogs. I've got a notebook on Kundalini yoga, because I really love that. I've got a notebook on movies that I want to watch. I've got a notebook on music that I really like. So as you can see, this is like the way that I keep my brain organized. So that's the overall to-do list. Then what I do each day is I take the tasks from the to-do list and I go into my breakthrough planner. So this is a planner that I've created. It's a 90-day planner. It's got multiple tabs in it. You can grab one at breakthroughplanners.com. But if you don't want to grab one, you can also just use any kind of notebook to keep yourself organized on a daily basis. By the way, the planner's $32, so it's pretty easy to get. And what I do is, you'll see here in the planner, let me just make sure you can see it. There you go. There's a daily plan. Then at the start of the day, I write my gratitudes. I write my 90-day goals. I write connections and reach outs. I write my 3 priority actions for the day, and then other actions that I'm doing. So what's great about that, is that this keeps me organized. And I always start with my 3 90-day goals. So you always want to start with your 90-day goals and what are you really trying to do, right, for that 90-day period. Then at the end of the day, I do a daily wrap up. So today's successes, what are you avoiding, your gratitudes, etc. And that just keeps me really organized and keeps things simplified so that I don't overdo it. So that's the daily and the overall task list. Then I go into weeks. I do weekly planning. So I also use my planner for weekly planning. So there's a weekly section in here. And over the course of the week, I plan out, what am I going to do each day of the week? What does each day of the week look like? And then also at the end of and I also track habits, 90-day goals, and how I'm doing through the course of the week. So for example, this week for me, I'll show you, there's a couple things that I am planning or tracking. So my goal this week was to do yoga 4 times a week, to work in this breakthrough planner 6 times a week, to do hypnosis 5 times a week, and to do dance 5 times a week. And so what that allows me to do is just keep organized, keep clear, so that I know exactly what I'm doing and the frequency that I'm doing. And there's some tracking to help me stay organized. So that's daily and weekly. I want to take a moment and talk about what really helped me make the leap to 7 figures was planning monthly, quarterly, and annually. And so I want to talk about annual planning. If you are let's say you're making $5,000 a month now or $10,000 a month now, your first leaps are going to be to $10,000 and $20,000 months. What you're going to want to do to leap to $10,000 and $20,000 months is sell more, right? Get in front of more people and sell more. And in order to sell more, you're going to need to launch more. And when I say launch more, I mean put more out in front of your audience and build your audience at the same time. So you're going to need a combination of list building activities and launches. And what I have found over and over again is that people who don't grow their businesses quickly are not looking at their years as a whole. So they're not planning out your launches and your list building activities well ahead of time. And so therefore, by the time it gets to you doing them, you don't have the time, the energy, the team, the support to do them. So I think that's one of the most important elements that took me from that $350,000 mark year to the $750,000 mark year, was really sitting down at the beginning of the year and saying, okay, every 2 months, we are going to be doing something to build the list. And then every 3 months, we're going to be launching a program or a product to put people into our programs or products. And then what that allowed me to do is hire a copywriter, hire the team members to work with me on those launches ahead of time so that I could actually execute them. The number one thing that I see happening for people that are kind of hovering around the $10,000 mark a month and not really able to get that $10,000 to $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month is that you aren't planning ahead of time and you're not hiring the team members to help you get those launches out, and you're not planning list building activities in between to be able to build your list to be able to support the launches. So that is all in the annual planning process. And don't worry if you didn't do that this year, you feel like you're already behind there, just stop, take a day or take a weekend and decide, what am I going to do for the next 9 to 12 months? What are going to be my list building activities? What are going to be my launching activities? How do I plan them out? And if you're struggling with this, or you don't know how to do the list building activities or the launching activities, it's a new language, right? Don't beat yourself up. We teach that every day. I teach that every day to my private clients over here at Revenue Breakthrough. So definitely reach out to me for help. If you would like some help on this, you can email us at support@revenuebreakthrough.com. But know the key is when you have the overall to-do list, when you know how to work your daily plan, when you know how to work your weekly plan, and most importantly, when you know how to work your annual plan. And your annual plan has a combination of both list building activities plus launches plus the right team members to support you, that's going to make the difference, right? And for me, that made the biggest difference when I was going from 350,000 to 750,000 and 750,000 to 1.2 million, was knowing what I was doing ahead of time and then hiring the copywriter, the virtual assistant, the technology person ahead of time to support me during those list building processes and during those launches. And for those of you that are like, well, I don't have the money yet to do all of that, I get it. I will say this. When I made those leaps to 7 figures, like when I went from $30,000 months to $70,000 months, when I went from $10,000 months to $20,000 months, I did hire for where I was going and not where I was at. So I'm not saying that you should hire something that's way outside of your comfort zone. But what I will tell you is that if you're trying to make that leap from $5,000 to $20,000 a month, it's impossible to do it without having team members on board to help you do that. So team is a huge part of this. And that's what I'm going to talk about on part 2. So this planning piece is part 1. And I'm going to talk more about team and the team element around how I created a 7-figure online business and have sustained it for over 10 years now in part 2. So stay tuned for that part. And in the meantime, get your planning game on so that you can make that income leap and you can have the freedom that I know you want. Because you and me, I'll tell you, it's doing what we want, when we want, how we want it, with whom we want to, and where we want to. It's the name of the game. I'll see you soon.